And now Babe Ruth is pointing out towards center field.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. Down the left field line, is it enough? Gone!
Did you know that more Americans remember the year the New York Mets won the World Series? Yes, their first one, than the year we dropped the atom bomb on Japan. You know, good and bad, heroes and villains, triumph and tragedy, passion and disgust. The sports world has very much mirrored the real world. But as society changes and moves forward, will sports still matter as much? Will sports still matter at all?
Sports has been a religion in this country, and we see it as something uniquely American. It's something that captures people's imagination. It's something that lets people escape. I think that it will continue to have that religious connotation.
The growth of materialism has created a tremendous amount of individuation in our society, and sports comes into that as an antidote. Now, people don't like to be isolated. People don't like to be alone. Sports gives you an outlet for communicating with other people.
Sports has a unique hold on the American public. It has something to do with our frontier mentality, in my judgment. We settle things on the field of sports rather than on the field of combat.
But the playing field has become increasingly combative. Win at all costs. The opponent is the enemy, and the public thirsts for more. Hollywood's idea of a sports revolution may not be that far off.
It's time to start running! Get off the rail! Ain't nobody gonna win this game! This wasn't meant to be a game!
Are we not in some kind of rollerball age already, where that kind of group feeling is already made? The group violence, the group noise, the group excitement is already there.
Violence is a big part of what sells in this country. You know, whether it be video games or TV or movies, and people love it in sports.
I don't think the public is looking to see people hurt on the screen. Sure, there's always the voyeur who wants to see the parachute fail to open, but they're a very limited number of people.
So if there is no revolution, what about an evolution? How will today's game stay hot and hip, and what new sports might take hold? After all, when the 20th century dawned, there was no World Series, the Super Bowl, not even a distant dream.
The clear trend that we're experiencing in our economy and also in the sports industry is globalization. And one anticipates with globalization that more sports that are internationally popular but heretofore haven't been popular in the United States will become popular in the United States.
I think the X Games could be the next format for the Olympic Games. And I think that whoever runs the International Olympic Committee going into the 21st century has to look at things that are being successful on the X game level.
What about the athletes themselves? Medical science is moving ahead at a breakneck pace. Soon, ligaments, tendons, and muscles will be regenerated, healed, replaced. Synthetic superstars bred, bionic parts replacing ordinary parts. Science just might be able to convert an average Joe into an all-pro Joe.
This is a medicine that's made in heaven for athletes, because they're the ones that have the hardest use of their body. We can, I think, restore, repair.
Ow.
Assistive devices to enhance human performance are unquestionably available and present. There are robotic devices that can be controlled by a human.
What will happen is you'll tailor-make a synthetic substance. I'll have two little pieces of bone and a synthetic ligament. You'll infuse the cells from the athlete into that, stimulate them to grow under the right conditions, and in a few months, you'll have a new ligament.
This could mean Joe Willie Namath trades in his old knees and plays until he's 50. Bo Jackson's new hip is as good as his old one. No injury is a career-ending injury.
Mutant players, so to speak, or players with grafted hands, grafted heads, you know, that's a little past where I'm going to be.
Okay, what about you and me? I'm talking about the fan. Ultimately, we are the engine that has fueled sports in the past, and we might benefit the most in the year 2010 because the power will be placed in our hands.
The fan probably will be able to experience what we traditionally experienced at the stadium in the home.
If you're watching the Masters, you're going to be able to watch the 17th. If you like to sit on that hole, you'll be able to select the camera angle from that hole.
How about a camera that was focused on Shaq before he had the ball, that followed Shaq such that when he positioned himself in the paint, you understand how he got there, and then whatever sorts of gestures or emotional response he may have had after the basket had been scored.
You can choose to follow a runner instead of the ball, choose the stats you want to see, even which commercials pique your interest.
You'll be able to recall highlights. Bernie Williams will come up, and you say, darn, I remember Bernie Williams hit a home run here 10 years ago in the similar. Punch it up.
Gone too is the 20th century. What sports, what teams, what athletes will dominate the 21st century, only time will tell. One thing seems certain, there will always be a widespread thirst for competition, for sport. On the road to 2010 and beyond, Brian Kilmeade, Fox News.